So, good morning, everybody. Okay, so we have been chatting, we have been talking about how to create revenue every single day. And we've got a few more days left. We've got 10 more days left. We had over 1,000 people live yesterday, which is really awesome. This is the first challenge that I've ever seen where the numbers keep climbing. Okay, so you guys need to understand this right now. You are powerful. You are not only just powerful, you are committed. You are showing up for yourself. And this is a huge thing for you to get inside your body because I know that there's been many times in my own life where I have literally, you're not gonna be able to stream on Instagram because we got Bari coming today. So you're not gonna be able to do that. Okay, so I'm just letting you know that. So turn it off with love. Okay, so you are literally in a position right now where all of the speakers, authors, thought leaders, even if I was just starting right now, when we talked yesterday about what would I do if I lost absolutely everything, what would I do yesterday? Were you guys on yesterday? Right? Was that an aha moment for you when you saw, like, what would I put my time into? Well, that list of 50 ways to find the money, my friend Barry is who actually taught me that at one of our events because we were bobbing and weaving to help people discover how do you create the money like right now. See what I'm saying? Yesterday, I was reading through the chats inside the Facebook group and on our Hardcore Business page, and it was incredible to see one woman generated over $500. It was like $598 or something like that, just from, I don't know what's going on here. So whoever's muting, I don't know what's happening. So make sure everybody's locked up so that they can't mute. Sorry, guys, I have no idea what's going on right now. Okay, so somebody generated over $500 literally from taking the coaching yesterday. Okay, so just take a moment. If that person worked like that for 10 days out of a month, people are always like, Shanda, how do you take off 5 months a year? Well, just look at that. If she was, I don't know what your income goals are, your revenue goals are, but if she just worked 10 days like that, she'd generate $5,000, right? If she just literally worked like that for 10 days. Now, yesterday I talked to you about, how do I create focus time on my schedule? I was blown away with the action people already took. I mean, I was blown away. Have you guys read some of the messages that were inside the Facebook group, even on YouTube? We had a couple thousand comments on YouTube yesterday alone. Have you been reading through them? You should pop around to the different platforms. Unfortunately, I can't stream on Instagram today because Barry's going to be jumping on here and she's not standing here, doing this presentation today, which is how do you actually generate a high ticket offer? Right? So we can't stream on Instagram because we can't mirror yet. We can't mirror the Zoom onto Instagram, but you guys on Facebook and YouTube, you're going to get access to this. But here's the deal. Pop around to the different platforms and read the comments. Because one of the biggest things I think that really helped my mind start to trust myself was looking at other people succeed. Okay, so don't hook into people who are like not succeeding because they just need to shift in their leadership and then they'll succeed. Okay, they just need to shift their leadership. Great example is the woman who made $500, over $500 yesterday by just creating some focus time, a small amount I guarantee you she didn't work 2 hours. I mean, she might have, but I guarantee you she probably didn't. She put in a little bit of effort in a focused amount of time and she generated that. And so when people tell me like I'm struggling financially or I can't figure it out, I'm going to tell you this is why I'm a big component on people focusing on their leadership and their business growth at the same time. So many of you guys really got the aha, like I need a list. Did that land with a bunch of you? Where it's like, I need a list. Okay, so another woman said, I've been posting on social media for months and months and months consistently every day, never got a sale. Yesterday, got a sale. Okay, and they actually got a sale from social media. So that's powerful, I love that. But imagine if you could just send an email or send a text message right now, what that would do for your ability to help people and to generate results for other people and generate income for you. Do you think you'd feel safe? Would you feel safe? If you could literally, would you do the work to fight through confusion? Would you do the work and just make a decision and make any offer? Like, would you actually get yourself up to the plate to do that? Hopefully the answer is yes. But if the answer is still like, I'm still uncertain, then Bari's going to help you with that today. She works with so many people who are succeeding in their businesses. She's been instrumental in helping me grow my business to the level that I've grown it today. In fact, the very first event I ever did, y'all, the very first event I ever did was my friend Bari, who's going to train you. Isn't that kind of neat? Like seeing where the platform is now, seeing where we are now. She literally did my first event, and she's done every zone event since. If you don't know what the zone event is, it's a 3-day event where we help entrepreneurs all around the world. Our community gets together, and here's what's crazy. Our community gets together and brings their friends. So I want you to like imagine if you didn't have to do this all alone. That your list becomes like your ambassadors, because not only do they care about you because you got out of your own way to be able to help them, even when you didn't know what you're doing, even when you were scared, and they started to go, oh my gosh, like, Becca, Reba, Olga, like, thank you for showing up for me. I'm telling you, people will start messaging you and they'll actually start telling you how much you've grown. You're like, oh, was I that bad? Do you know what I mean? They're like, you've grown so much because they're watching you as you build your list. So we are on day 3. I do have a winner that I'm going to buy lunch for. Vivian Rich, we loved your homework last night. Vivian Rich, I'm going to buy you 2 months of lunch. Think of this as freeing up some time for you. Okay, think of this as freeing up some time for you. You don't need to be in the kitchen making your lunch. Let me buy your lunch for the next 2 months just because you showed up. And there's thousands of you showing up right now. There's thousands of you guys showing up. And so I just want you to know that a miracle can happen of clarity, of power, and of action today. So as Bari is teaching, I'm going to invite you to open up your mind, open up your heart, and write this down on a piece of paper. What if this would work for me? What would I do? What if this would work for me? What would I do? What if this would work for me? What would I do? Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be watching the chats. And the reason why I'm going to be watching the chats is because in another program that I have, I actually design content based on people's needs and based on what people's feedback is. So I'm going to watch the chats, and I'm going to give out another 10 people. I'm going to bless you with another $100. So 10 people instead of one big, financial reward to someone. I'm going to bless another 10 people for going in the chats and giving feedback on what Bari's training today. You guys good with that? Are we up for that? So I know my team has got a bunch of people from yesterday, right? So they're going to be reaching out to them today. We'll also announce that in the groups as well, who the winners are. But we're going to be reaching out to people today for yesterday from actually giving great feedback in the chat. So remember, great feedback is not, hi, that's not great feedback. Great feedback is like, oh my God, Bari, I just got it. I know what I'm going to offer. I just got it. Now remember, every single person can make a high ticket sale offer. Okay, every single person has advice. I mean, Olga, maybe you know how to clean a house. Maybe you know how to garden. Maybe you know how to raise children. Maybe you know how to get in shape. Okay, so everybody has advice that they could generate money with right now, especially if you had a list. But even if you didn't have a list, there's people out there. We showed you without my training of a list and you guys actually doing it, there's people out there that you could serve and help. Okay, we taught connect, engage, serve, make an offer. Okay, see what I'm saying? So there's no excuse but your own leadership holding you back. So just don't let that happen. Use your willpower to be determined. But everybody who wants to generate money today, go in the chat, say me. Everybody, whether you want to or you don't, can sell your advice and package it in a high ticket sale. Even if you only did that for one day with somebody for $3,000 or $2,000 or $700. Like everybody can generate money. So don't be too stubborn to become a success. I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna welcome Bari to the line, Bari to the virtual stage. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you and
I
to be here with these amazing people today. This is
I
awesome.
I know. Well, it's so good to have you here. Barry, thanks for doing everything you've done to believe in me. You have stood behind so many great people, myself, Russell Brunson, Lisa Sasevich, Jeff Walker, Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins. Like, you have not only been a close friend of mine, but you have been so generous and humble as you've studied all of us, and then you've kind of, I wouldn't say raised above us, but you're like, you've congregated the best strategies possible so we could be more effective with our time. Who needs better time or more time in your life, right? Go in the chat, put a T. Who's like, God, I wish this could get easier and come together a little bit more. Okay, she's like the time saver. Okay, she's like the time saver because she can tell you, if you offered it like this, it would come together. If you offered it like this, it would come together. So she kind of biohacks the world of offers. You do, because I always say you need great leadership to be able to lead people, and that's why I push so much on leadership. But if you know what to offer and how to say it, it kind of cheat sheets, it cliff notes that leadership so that you can have an instant result. So it's so cool. So I'm going to pass the mic to you. Love you. You guys, you're in great hands. I'm watching the chat. Who are my $100 winners today? All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Shanda. Well, welcome everybody. I'm super excited to be here with you. And here's the thing, for me to do my best work, I need to be able to see you. So if you don't have your cameras on, I want you to turn them on because I have a wall in front of me where I'm literally looking at you. I think the team is showing you my feed. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Wave. Yeah. So this is amazing. So this really keeps my energy up when I can see you and make sure that you're with me and that my message is connecting and it's landing for you because we have a lot we're going to be covering. And here's the thing I want you to know. Shanda just talked about time. And another way I want you to look at time, part of this is saving time. But another thing I want you to know is that we're compressing decades into days. Who would like to compress a decade into a day? Right? Like I'd like to, I could toil away for a decade, or I could get this done in a day, right? Even if it's a theoretical day, right? So, what I'm going to be talking to you about, I know Shanda yesterday talked about 50 ways, like what are some ways you can make money and building your list, and how does that play into having impact and income? And what I'm going to talk to you about today is taking your list to launching a high ticket offer. Now that you've cultivated this list, you've figured out what it is to have a list. Now, what do you do with that list? Well, you want to have impact and you want to have income. I often call it a purpose driven payday. You don't want to sacrifice one for the other, right? How many of you are like, it's not enough just to make money? I want to have impact. How many of you that, yes, I thought so. And that's true for most of us. I know it's true for Shanda. I know it's true for me. Do I want to make a good living? Absolutely. But if I made a ton of money and didn't get my mission out there, didn't have impact, the money would fall short. And conversely, if I got my impact out there but wasn't being paid for that time, so I couldn't afford to do more, that also wouldn't work. So, what I want to share with you today is you don't have to sacrifice one for the other. You can have impact and income, you can have purpose and payday. And one of the fastest paths to this is a high ticket offer. Quick show of hands, how many people already have a high ticket offer? You're like, I've already got a high ticket offer. I know what a high ticket offer is. Okay, good. That's super helpful for me. That's really great. So, what I'm going to walk you through is how to design it because what I find so often is people are so afraid of making a high ticket offer. They don't know how to package it, they don't know how to position it, they don't know how to price it. You think someday, maybe eventually I'll do that. Someday when I have a bigger list, someday when I have a better idea, someday when I have more clarity, someday when I lose 10 pounds, someday when right, whatever the thing is that's keeping you from doing it. And what I want you to think about is what Shanda just shared with you. What if this could be the way? What if this was the way? Then what could be true for you? I know for most of my clients, and listen, Shanda's right, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Shanda Sumter, Mary Morrissey, Jack Canfield, names that you probably know. But I also want you to know that a lot of my clients you've probably never heard of before. And why is that amazing? Because everyday people, people just like you, I lovingly say ordinary people doing extraordinary things, are out there having a purpose driven payday by making a high ticket offer. And something I really want you to get, I want you to write this down is I am ready today. Who believes they're ready? Like, I'm ready today. All right, put it in the chat. I am ready and I am meant for more. I am ready and I'm meant for more. I want you to anchor that, write it on a page, circle it, because I know you're ready. I know you can do all the things I'm about to share with you. I know you're meant for more or you wouldn't be here. And I want to show you how to take a decade and turn it into a day through the power of a high ticket offer. Here's the other thing I want to say really quick as you're thinking about this. I'm going to be explaining to you how live events play into this, because that is my business, helping people craft, package, and price high ticket offers and how to launch them into the world through a live event. And you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, I can't do a live event. And here's what I'm going to also tell you. You're at the most amazing moment in time. Not only with your 50 ways could you be like, you know what? I've got a car. I could go drive Uber, right? Like, who had Uber on their 50 ways sheet? Like, I could do DoorDash. I could do Uber. Like, if you have a car, you could be making money today. There's never been more ways and easier ways to make money than there are right now. And it's never been easier to host a live event because you can do it from what? Your living room. Where's Shanda broadcasting to you from? Who knows? Put it in the chat. Where is she coming to you from? Home, her house, her living room. You got it. That's exactly right. And you could be doing that too. I happen to be at my studio in Merle's Inlet, and I have a studio because this is the business we are in, but I could just as easily be doing this from my living room. And we're going to talk about that today, exactly how that works and how you do it. So the first thing that I want you just to think about is list plus high ticket equals leverage. List plus high ticket equals leverage. And leverage is where you get impact and income, purpose, and payday. Here's the other thing I want you to know. Everything I'm sharing with you today is coming from a place of sales is service. And what I mean by that is I'm going to show you how to serve your way into a high ticket offer so that you don't have to sell a high ticket offer. You don't have to be icky or salesy or sleazy in order to make a high ticket offer to your right fit client. Now, a lot of people call this your ideal client, your avatar. I like to think of it as my right fit client. They are right fit for me. This is the person I most want to serve. I want you to think about, who is this person that you serve? How old is he or she? Where does he or she live? What does he or she drive? How many children do they have? Or are they empty nesters? How much do they make? Are they independently wealthy? Are they struggling to get by? Are they renting or are they owning? Are they leasing or do they own their car? Are they driving a Prius or a BMW or a Honda, right? Or a bike? Like, all these nuances matter so much. So I really want you to be thinking about, take a second right now, and I want you to envision as clearly as you can, who is your right fit client? Male or female? You might be, I serve both. In general though, which is your primary? Male or female? What age? What income? Are they married? Do they have children? Where do they live? City, suburbs? What do they drive? What do they dream about? What are they afraid of? Parent moms, couples. Yes, that's a start. Mothers who homeschool. That's so good. And the more you drill down, the better. Female, 30 to 50 with the family and a job. Like, the more clear you can get, the better you're going to be able to serve, because you can envision them. And here's the thing. If you're getting stuck thinking of who your right fit client is, they are you 1 year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago. Generally, our right fit client is a mirror for us. They are us. We know them inherently because we have been them. In some cases, we still are them. We're creating the high ticket offer that we wish existed for us. Who follows on this? That I could create the high ticket offer that I wish existed for me. I'm creating that as a service to my right fit client because I have a solution to a problem they have. So of course I want to get it out there and into their hands. And that's why a high ticket offer comes in. And that's why you don't have to sell, you just have to serve. When you design a high ticket offer that serves your right fit client, they're coming to you saying, that was amazing, I want more. That was amazing, I want more. I'm going to show you exactly how this works today. First, I want you to think about the fact that a high ticket offer being sales and a service is because your RFC, right fit client, your RFC is cutting a check for speed. Remember when Shanda said saving time? What are you here doing this week? Learning how to save time. And what is your high ticket offer going to do for your right fit client? Save them time, turn a decade into a day. You're going to get them there faster, simpler, and easier. When we buy into a high ticket offer, we're cutting a check for speed. Our RFC, our right fit client, also wants what? Hand holding. Generally, a high ticket offer is about, I will help you get there. I will create some form of accountability. Even if I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it with you, or I'm giving you the tools for you to do it with a community of like-minded people. Who loves being in this community of like-minded people? Like, oh my God, I'm surrounded by 4,000 people just like me. Exactly. It's amazing. It's so good to be like not alone, especially after 2 years of COVID. We're all sequestered in our homes. And now through the power of virtual, we can all be together. From people, there are people here from all over the world together, like-minded people. There's a certain amount of accountability just in being together and saying, I'm going to do it. You're going to do it. Did you do your 50 ways? Did you do your 50 ways? What did you discover? Are you going to do a high ticket offer? Who's your RFC? What day are you going to start? Put it in the Facebook group, right? Like those are all forms of accountability. And that's what your right fit client is looking for. And in today's online world, there's like, it's something like 395 million people on Zoom at any moment in time, not people who have a license or use Zoom, who are on Zoom at any moment in time, all over the world, at any age. I mean, now kids know how to use Zoom, grandparents know how to use Zoom, and everybody in between. So if you have a computer and a TV, you're in the online world, you can be making a high ticket offer from your living room. Again, we're going to talk about that. Okay, so your high ticket offer is going to serve your right fit client. It's going to help them cut a check for speed and get the hand holding they need so that they actually get out there into the world doing whatever is the thing that you do. Make more money, make more love, make more light, make more health, make more wealth, right? Any of those things. This isn't just for dimes to dollars. If you're in personal development, if you're in business development, if you help moms with kids with autism, if you help moms who homeschool, if you help moms who are jumpstarting a business, there's 33 million people that quit their jobs in the last 6 months to start a business. Who's serving those people? I think Shanda is, but I bet some of you are too. Who's your RFC and how can you serve them? Okay, then I want you, the next step in this is I want you to imagine what you could do if you could 2x, 3x, 10x your list through a webinar, through a launch, through a challenge like this one, through a course. High ticket offers come in all shapes and sizes. And Shanda was just explaining this to you. Like when you're just getting started out, your high ticket offer might be $700. And then later it might be $1,700. And then it might be $7,000. I have a client whose high ticket offer is $150,000. And guess what? It's sold out. Russell Brunson, we love you. He's amazing. Sold out a program called Category Kings, $150,000, 15 people with a waiting list. He didn't start at $150,000, right? He started selling potato guns online. That was his first business idea, potato guns. So for any of you who follow Russell Brunson and you're thinking, I can't do this, it's about progress, not perfection. It's about starting where you are. Start with the thing you know, and it will start to unfold. You'll get to what? Know your right fit client better. Know what your right fit client needs. Know what your right fit client wants. You'll never figure that out, though, if you're constantly dreaming about it and not doing it. I want you to write that down. Dreaming is not doing. Dreaming is where it starts. Doing is where we actually get our mission out into the world, right? So I'm going to teach you how to go from dreaming to doing today. I want you to start, though, with continuing to dream about imagining what you could do if you could go from a one-to-one sale where you're dialing for dollars, right? Like if I get someone on the phone, I can sell them a thing. That's a one-to-one sale and it's valuable. It's a great way to get started. But if we want to take a decade and collapse it into a day, if we want to create more time in our calendar, is it better to go one-to-one or one-to-many? I'll get so much farther if I can go one-to-many, right? So with a high ticket offer, we want a platform that allows us to evolve from one-to-one. One-to-one is great for proof of concept. One-to-many is where we really start to get traction, impact, and income. And imagine what you could do if you could go from low ticket, like a lower ticket of $70 or $700 to $1,700 to $7,000 to $70,000, right? And for those of you thinking, I don't think I could ever make a $70,000 offer. Could you make a $700 offer? Could you make a $1,700 offer? You could. You could do that today. I promise you, your right fit client is out there waiting for you, and they are willing to do what? Cut a check for speed and cut a check for hand holding. to get there faster, to have you help them turn a decade into a day. And so here's the thing, whether you want to serve one person or 5 people or 50 people or 500 people or 5,000 people, you can do it through the power of a high ticket offer, and you can do it from your living room. But it starts with, how can I package, position, and price my high ticket offer? Like, how do all those parts work together? Well, here's where you would start. And I'm going to give you a copy of the slide deck. So don't feel like you have to take pictures of all of this. Stay fully present. You can take your notes. I'm going to make sure Shanda's team has a copy of this for you. But essentially, what is this concept? I like, my whole client base knows when I do this, I'm talking big why exercise. It all starts with starting to get clear on what's your big why. What drives you? What's your mission? Who do you most want to serve? Now, here's the thing. I saw someone say, I can't remember her name, but I saw in the chat while Shanda was talking, my son has Downs and I want to build a home for him. I want to make sure he's well taken care of. That's part of your big why. I want to help moms who are forced into homeschooling do a better job of homeschooling. That's part of a big why. So there's usually in your big why, like a big mission, and then there's a personal mission. What do you personally want to do? Put that in the chat. What's your big why? If you know right now, just drop it in the chat. What really motivates me, what really drives me, my big why is. My big why is I'm ready. I want to retire early. My family. I want to change the trajectory for women who've lost their joy. I want to uplift humanity. I want to train 1 million women in safety. My 2 boys, freedom through service, all of these things. Yes, yes, yes. Remember that. Why we start with that is on the hard days, the days where it feels hard. If you remember your big why, if you stay tethered to your big why, the hard won't matter. And here's the thing. This is work. It's not a magic wand. There's not some pixie dust I'm going to sprinkle on you today. Like, you do have to show up and do the work, but it's worth it. It's worth it to have impact and income. It's worth it to realize your big why, to achieve your big why, both your big mission, big why, and your personal mission, big why. And in order to do that, I want you to think about who you serve. Remember that right fit client I mentioned? If you're not super clear on who your right fit client is, sometimes it's helpful to think of who's your wrong fit client. They're on the opposite side of the line, right? Who do I not want to work with? Right? I don't want to work with people who aren't coachable. I don't want to work with people who don't value my time. I don't want to work with people who aren't willing to do the work. Right? I do want to work with people who. Those are great ways to start defining who is your right fit client, the person you serve. So there's your tether of your big why and your right fit client that you're meant to serve. Those are on the opposite ends of the axis. And then we have this piece, which is what would make my right fit client rave, renew, and recruit. When you're thinking of your high ticket offer and what you might put into it, you want to immediately think about the 3 R's. What would get my right fit client to rave about me and what I do, renew year after year, and recruit other people, get other people. Shanda mentioned at the Zone event that communities recruit their communities to come. Like, I love Shanda in the Zone event so much that I want you to come with me. I want you to experience this with me. That is the rave, renew, and recruit model, which helps so much in doing what? Building your list. Like, if you serve so hard that people are like, oh my God, that was an amazing experience, I want to bring more people with me, will you exponentially grow your list? Yes. And guess what? With other right fit clients. Who gets that? They're not going to recruit just anybody. They're going to recruit people who are right fit. You need to get to experience Shanda because you're trying to do this and she does that. I love you, so I want to introduce you to her. You want to be that in your world for your right fit clients. So we want to keep that in mind. And then here's the last piece, your non-negotiables. What are the things that you would not do for your right fit client? Let me give you an example. When you're first starting out, you're like, I'll do anything. If they'll pay me, I'll do anything. But if you do that, you'll design a business that later you will not love. I promise you this. When you're struggling to make money, it's like, I'll do anything if I can start making an income. But later, once you start making the money, you'll be like, I don't care how much you pay me. I don't want to do that, right? I see some nodding. Yes, exactly. No matter how much you pay me, I don't want to do that. So I'm a big fan of designing the business of your dreams for tomorrow, today. So let's start thinking about non-negotiables. For example, I have a client who's amazing, Jeff Walker, and he's given me permission to share this story. And his non-negotiables are, I must have ski Fridays during the winter. I love skiing. Every Friday, I want to be on the slopes. I must have nights open for my family. I must have weekends open for my family. And I must have August open for my rafting trip with my friends. We spend the whole year planning it. I look forward to it all year. It's me, my son, my brother, and my best friends, and we do it every August. That's sacrosanct. Nothing can jeopardize that. And I'm really all about service to my to my right fit client. I really want my right fit client to be successful, but I won't do one-to-one coaching. I just don't like one-to-one. I'm not going to do one-to-one. I'll do everything in my power to make my right fit client successful, but I won't do one-to-one. So I want you to think about just for a second, what are your non-negotiables? Not at night because I have young children, not on Saturdays because that's when my children's baseball game is and I don't want to miss it. Not on Sunday mornings because I have church, not in December because I love the holidays. Like, what are the non-negotiables you have so that you can start balancing those out? Do you see how those are on opposite ends of the axis? Like for your right fit client, what would make them rave, renew, and recruit, and what would make you rave about your program? Not want to do your program, love your program, rave about your program. Feel like everything is in service to your right fit client because you love what you're doing. That rave, renew, recruit has to work for you too. So if you don't know all the answers now, you literally can make this your homework for tonight. Is I have to get clear on this in order to design a high ticket offer that my right fit client will love and that I will love. It will never lead you wrong. This is a true north for you. And the gap in the middle is the distance between what your raving fan wants and what you're not willing to do. And you have to decide, like, let's use Jeff Walker's example. I don't do one-to-one coaching, but they want that. I either have to say, we don't offer that, or I have to hire people who would do that. So in Jeff's model, in the beginning, he did it. He's like, I know I'm doing it only for a little while because as soon as I have this much money, I'm hiring someone else to do it because I don't want to do it. That's one of my non-negotiables, right? He's thinking ahead and designing the program he wants today, starting from his non-negotiables. Okay. So what is a high ticket offer? So I find that people make this way more complicated than it needs to be. And here's one of the biggest mistakes that you might make is you Frankenstein your high ticket offer together. Now, Frankensteining is when we go out and we see all these different things in the marketplace and we're like, I'll do that and I'll do that. This worked for her, so I should do that. I saw him do that, so I should do that. You start taking all these parts and throwing them together because you saw somebody else do it and they are successful. And so you think if they're successful, that must be the way it works. So that's what I'll do, even though it compromises a non-negotiable or it might not make your right fit client rave, renew, and recruit. So it's super important that you design the program for your right fit client based on you, based on your big why, based on your right fit client, based on your non-negotiables, based on what would make them rave, renew, and recruit. It should be a reflection of you. Why? Because your right fit client is a mirror for you. If you don't love it, they won't love it. If you didn't need it a year ago, they probably don't need it, right? You're designing the program you wish you had for them. So let's talk about the simplest, most common approaches to designing a high ticket offer. So the first is you might do a retreat, a mastermind, a workshop, or an implementation day. A retreat would be like for 2 days, we're getting together and we're going deep on this topic. A mastermind might be every quarter we get together and we think tank on your business or on your health or on your wealth, or on your homeschooling business, or on homeschooling your children. And an implementation day would be we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're actually going to get some work done together. We're going to do it with you. We're literally going to teach you, but we're also going to get you to do as we go. Now, here's the thing. Any one of these could be a standalone high ticket offer. You could have a challenge that sells people into a retreat or into a workshop or into a mastermind or into one single implementation day. Or you could string them together and say, every quarter I do a retreat, or every other month I do an implementation day. You could literally design a year-long program where you had X number of these during the year so that your right fit client is coming together to work with you. Now, here's what's amazing about this Any one of these could be done for a group of 10 people. So if you're thinking, I'm not ready for a high ticket offer, I don't have a big list. You don't need a big list. You could have a mastermind of 5 people. You could do workshops every quarter for 10 people. That's how you get started. And then you refine it as you go. And it may turn into a group of 25 people or 50 people or 100 people. But if you're waiting for the big list and waiting for the big offer, you're literally taking a day and turning it into a decade. Who follows? Yes, you're turning a day into a decade instead of a decade into a day. So let's just say hypothetically that you were to pick one of those. Think about it right now, just based on what you know. If you were to design a high ticket program, let's say that you're going to have a 6-month program and you're going to be serving your right fit client. Which of these do you think you might do? A retreat, a think tank where we're laser coaching each other on our business, a workshop where you're teaching to them, or an implementation day where you're getting it done with them? Which of them most appeals to you? Okay, great. That's just your first starting point. I picked that. Okay, the next most common thing would be that every month I'm going to have a call where we do laser coaching. Laser coaching is simply where they present you a problem and you solve it. They present you a problem and you solve it. You don't have to create any content for that. They present a problem and you solve it. Another way to look at this would be a monthly Q&A call. I'm going to have a call once a month where you can bring your questions and I'll answer them. And you can do that because you know what you teach, you know what you're good at, and you know your right fit client. They're you. So you answer their questions so that they don't get stuck. And then you might say, in between all these things, I'm going to have a Facebook group just for you so that we can stay connected. Because what does your buyer want? Accountability and handholding. They want to be in a like-minded community. We often say that high ticket offers are a combination of, I want you to write this down, ACE, ACE, and RIM, RIM. A high ticket offer is a combination of ACE and RIM. ACE is accountability, community, and enhanced opportunity. Accountability, some form of handholding. Community, being with like-minded people. And enhanced opportunity, be more, do more, have more, make more. Whatever it is you do, it's helping them be more of that, do more of that, have more of that, make more of that. You're making the opportunity easier for them. That's the decade into a day. So that's what they're buying. And then this is what's making it successful. RIM is repetition, immersion, immersion. I'm being immersed in a way of learning until I get it right through repetition, and modeling proven practices, repetition, immersion, and modeling practices that are proven. If I design my high ticket offer to provide accountability and like-minded community and enhanced opportunity, and we do it through repetition, immersion with that community, and modeling practices that we know are proven and work, we are going to do what? Create success for our right fit client that has them do what? Rave, renew, and recruit other people. So it really is that simple. And you can use that exact model at $700, at $1,700, at $7,000 and up. If you were to look at any high ticket offer in our industry, I promise you it's made up of ACE and RIM and something that looks similar to what's on my screen. Now, there are other ways of doing it. Instead of monthly hot seats, you might say monthly content calls. And again, you could do this for 6 months. You could do this for a year. It's not that hard. If you're just getting started and getting to know your right fit client, I might do the first one for 6 months. It's my beta launch of my high ticket offer. And now I'm proving the concept with them. I'm learning them and what they want and what they need and what they know and what they don't know. And then I use that to refine it and deliver it again. And this is a really important concept I want you to get: iteration over innovation. It's more important for you at your stage of business to iterate, do it over and over again, than it is to innovate, which is to constantly change your mind about what you're doing. Iteration is micro adjustments. Innovation is big adjustments. I want you to think about, I get my first offer out there, and then I get my next offer out there, and then I get my next offer out there. You're not in this to do this once. You're not a one-hit wonder. You're not like, I'm just going to make one offer one time, check it off my bucket list, and I'm done. Right? No, you're here to build a business based on serving your right fit client with your list and your high ticket offer. So you're going to iterate more than you're going to innovate. You're going to do it over and over again and refine it each time as you get better. Progress, not perfection. So how does this turn into a legit business? Let me tell you the through line to high ticket. I want to build a simple business for you. And I'm going to do it with a made up concept just to demonstrate it. Let's pretend that I'm launching a high ticket offer around health, wealth, and happiness. Like, I want to be known for health, wealth, and happiness. I'm going to teach you health, wealth, and happiness. I'm going to design my offer to look like the offer I just shared with you. There's going to be a retreat on health, a retreat on wealth, and a retreat on happiness. There's going to be monthly Q&A calls, monthly laser coaching, and a Facebook group. In order to get there, I'm going to start with what I call the ignite phase. The ignite phase is I'm going to start with a problem I know the right fit client has, a simple solution to that problem, and talk through their mindset. What's most likely to keep you from achieving your goals? Mindset. Yeah, yes, exactly. Point right here. My mind is most likely to stop me. What's in here is most likely to stop me. It's true for you, and it's true for your right fit client too. It's true for all humans. So every layer of this is going to have problem and a solution and the mindset to overcome it. So think of this phase as a tester. I'm going to teach health, very high level. I'm going to teach wealth, very high level. I'm going to teach happiness, very high level. I think of this as the Costco approach. Who knows what is Costco? Who goes to Costco on the weekends to get your groceries? Okay. What do they do at Costco? You go on I love going on the weekends to Costco, where it's like at the end of every aisle, they have what? A person who has a sample, and they're like, would you like to try this? And you're like, yes, I would. And then you try it. You're like, that was amazing. And they're like, great. Would you like one box or two? And what do they have? They have them right there, right? They'll put them in your cart. It's super smart. You taste it, you like it, you buy it. This is exactly what your free thing is. You're doing something out there free, like a challenge, like a launch, very high level concepts, to be like, I'd like for you to taste what I teach in health, taste what I teach in wealth, taste what I teach in happiness. And by the way, did you like that? You did? Well, guess what? I have something else for you. It's called a course. It's my next offer. And guess what my course does? It goes deeper into your problem, your solution, and your mindset. And together, we're going to do a deep dive into health. Week 2 and week 3 are all about health. And week 4 and week 5 are all about wealth. And week 6 and week 7 are all about happiness. And guess what? The start of the course, there's an onboarding week, a welcome week to get you started. And then at the end, there's a graduation week, so we can celebrate what you did. How many of you are like, I didn't know a course was that easy? It's that easy. That could be your first high ticket offer. 8 weeks. It's that simple. We take what we taught and we go deeper. Same exact content, deeper. So I'm just taking health high level and I'm going deeper because I have 2 weeks to teach it, 2 weeks to teach wealth, 2 weeks to teach happiness, an onboarding week, a graduation week, once impossible, now easy. We have a course. And what's going to happen at the end of the course? If you do a really great job, they're going to say, Bari, that was amazing. I want more. You're like, I thought you might want more. So guess what? I have a live event for you. You should really consider joining me there. Let me put that in your cart. And they come to the live event because you are going to go deeper on their problem, on their solution, and on their mindset. And then you're going to do what? Spend a whole day on health, a whole day on wealth, and a whole day on happiness. And this is natural. Think about this. There's only so much you can do in a launch or a challenge or a podcast, right? In something free. I can only do so much. It's free. I have a limited amount of time. You're not paying for it, but I want to give generously to my right fit client. So I'm giving you these little nuggets of information to help you. But if you want more, does it seem right that you should pay for that? I think it does. So you would buy my course. And in my course, you get more of me. I'm going to go deeper with you. And if you love my course, there's only so much I can do in 8 weeks. Come to my live event and we're going to spend 3 whole days together. And of course, in 3 whole days, I can go so much deeper into health and wealth and happiness. And you're going to be with this right fit community, a whole group of people just like you, and we're going to do it together. And if I do a great job at the end of that, what are you going to say? Bari, this event was amazing. I want, who can guess? I want, put it in the chat. This was amazing. I want, yes, Greg, Lila, Heather, more. Of course they do. Naturally, when we have an experience we love, we say, that was awesome. I want more. And you're like, I thought you might want more. That's great. I have a high ticket offer for you, a coaching program for you. And guess what we do there? We have a whole retreat on health. We work on your problem solution mindset. Of course we do. We have a whole retreat on health, a whole retreat on wealth, and a whole retreat on happiness, right? Because we've already designed that. We knew where we were heading before we ever got started. We knew that all roads lead to the high ticket offer. All roads lead to health and wealth and happiness. We know we're having a retreat. If you loved my event where we spent 1 day on this, imagine having a retreat with me where I spend 3 days with you, a whole weekend on health, a whole weekend on wealth, a whole weekend on happiness. Who wouldn't want that? We're going to spend a whole weekend together. I have goosebumps just thinking about it. And now I'm going to round that out because in between the retreats, I want to stay connected to you and I want you to stay connected to the community. So we're also going to have monthly Q&A and monthly hot seats with content and a daily Facebook group. I want you to stay connected through the retreats, through the monthly activities, and through the daily connection of the Facebook group. That's your high ticket offer. And what did you do? You served your way into that. I served you at the highest level on free. I served you at the highest level in my course. I served you at the highest level in my live event. And I served you at the highest level in my high ticket offer. And if I did that, what are you going to do? Rave, renew, and recruit. Of course you are. And that's how sales becomes service. We don't feel like we're having to sell something to them, do something to them. We're doing something for them. And if we know that's where we're headed, all the other stuff is so much easier. I have a saying, macro clear, micro easy. If my macro strategy is clear, then my micro strategy is easy. How easy is it for you to write copy to your list now that you know that these are the layers you teach? You just bullet point everything you know about health, everything you know about wealth, everything you know about happiness. That's your content. You teach high level free and you go to deeper levels at every other layer. So if you're thinking, there's no way I have enough content to do this, Bari, I'm like, yes, you do. Literally brainstorm everything you know about 3 key topics. I'm going to choose homeschooling again. 3 anchors for homeschooling. What do your homeschooling moms need to know? Detail every topic and apply this formula. This is the through line to a high ticket. This is impact and income. This is a purpose-driven payday. This is sales and service. They're all connected together. So what if, let's just use an exact model of this. What if I just had a simple list of 150, just 150 people? And let's say that 10% of them buy my first course. That's 15 people. And my course is $497. I would make $7,455. And then let's say I said to everyone who bought my course, why don't you come to my live event? And 80% said yes. And that's a pretty normal metric. 80% said yes. I have 12 people at my live event. If you're thinking your live event has to be 500, 5,000, you've got to be Tony Robbins, you've got to be Shanda Sumter. No, Shanda had to start somewhere. Tony started somewhere. Dean Graziosi started somewhere. Shanda didn't start with everything. We've grown our businesses together. We go back, way before she had someone dressing her even. She's always had great style, even when she was dressing herself. I mean, you start somewhere, right? So 12 people is amazing. And then of those 12 people, let's say that just 20% bought your high ticket offer and it was a 9997 offer. You'd make $20,000. And what about 30% or 40%? And those are normal numbers for smaller rooms. I will tell you, anybody big in our space, Shanta included, would say, I long for the days of small rooms. I remember that it was such a magical time because intimate rooms convert better. Intimate rooms are more intimate and closer, and they tend to convert at higher percentages. Bigger rooms convert at lower percentages, but because they're bigger, you still make more money, right? But the important thing for you to figure out here is you don't need a big list. You don't need a big event. You don't need a huge high ticket offer. You can play with these numbers now that you see how this model works. And I want you to. I want you to pretend that for now, your high ticket offer is one of those things, whatever you decided, workshop, retreat, implementation day, whatever you decided, mastermind. And then your monthly thing you're going to do, and then your weekly thing you're going to do, and then your daily thing you're going to do, generally a Facebook group, keep it simple. How many months is it going to be? I'm just going to encourage you to pick 6 or 12. 6-month program, 12-month program. Just pick one. What feels more right to you. If you're just getting started, start simple. And then I want you to pick a price. Don't get too in your head about this. Pick a price. Pick it right now. If you're saying, I don't know what I could charge. If you did know, what would it be? Pick a price, a place to get started. And if you're thinking, I just cannot possibly, oh, great, I'm loving seeing these in here. You got this 6 months at $997, $6,000. Yes. When you make this first offer, I call it the Founders Club offer. I'm like, you're getting a price that you'll never see again. You're getting a deal you'll never see again. There's urgency immediately to that offer. The beta offer is your Founders Club offer, and it's a great opportunity for your most loyal people to come in, and you're being honest. It's the first time I've ever offered this, so you're getting an amazing deal. I promise you next time it will be more expensive, and mean it. The price will go up the next time. Why? Because you'll know more next time. You'll be better next time. It's a great way to get started. And if it feels too big, then just say my high ticket offer is going to be like a day. You can buy a day with me, one day. And during that day, we're going to get this thing done. It could be for one person or one day with 5 people. You take 5 people in one day and you do something for and with them. Does that have value to your right fit client? I want you to think about it. You know your right fit client. Would they like a day with you? Would they get real value from a day with you? At the end of that day, could you then say, would you like to do more with me? Why don't you join me for 6 months in the next program I have for you? Who sees that how this works is you serve your right fit client at every level by delivering what they need so that they rave, renew, and recruit. So if you had to decide now, you have the math we just did, you can figure out exactly how much you'd be making from your very first or your next high ticket offer, depending on where you are. Here's the last thing I want you to know. One of the fastest paths to making a high ticket offer is a live event. That happens to be my specialty, designing high ticket offers and hosting live events. And I told you earlier that I would remind you that it doesn't need to be high tech. It doesn't need to be high tech. If you have a computer, a TV, and Zoom, you can do a live event. There's never been a better moment in time for you to host a live event. You don't have to wait to be invited to someone's stage. You create your own stage. Here's another tip I'll give you. Do you have 2 lamps? Raise your hand if you have 2 lamps in your house. 2 lamps. Okay. You put those lamps in front of you. You take the shades off. Why do you do that? So you have good light on your face. Exactly. So if you have a computer, a TV, 2 lamps, internet, and Zoom, you can do this. Don't do a fancy platform. You don't need that. How are we connected today? Zoom. That's all you need. There are 350 million people on Zoom at any moment in time. Every age, every gender, every nationality. Your people are on Zoom. It is not hard for them to figure out. They can do it. So if you have that, I just want to show you what it could look like. It could look like this. These are all students who are using what they have to create a live event. And I love this guy. He's literally just standing at his desk. I do recommend you stand, not sit, but just standing at his desk. This is their live event. You can do this. This is how they launch their high ticket offer. It's that simple. Here, as you're thinking about this, is the other thing I want you to know. This is the timeline. It started in 1970 and it goes to 2021, and it started with this. Who recognizes that? Yes. And then it went to this, and now it looks like this. If they hadn't started in 1970 with that first box, you wouldn't have the beauty and the elegance of this amazing machine. What if Steve Jobs had said, I don't know, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it until it's beautiful and elegant and silver and slender. And until I get there, I'm not launching it to the world. No, he said, my vision, his big why, was a computer in every home. And now what? We have a computer in our hand on our phone. We have our iPads. We have our computer. We have a computer in every room of our home. But if he hadn't gotten started, that never would have happened. And so I'm here to just beg you to choose progress over perfection. Choose progress over perfection. Stop dreaming about what could be possible and commit today to doing it. Doing is a quantum leap from imagining. And in order to do that, you have to choose commitment over convenience. Shanda works hard at her business. Tony Robbins works hard at his business. If you're thinking Tony's on easy street, man works harder than anybody I know because his big why is so big. Shanda's big why is so big. It's not like once you get to making money, you're like, now I relax. You're like, no, there's even more people I could serve. There's even more I could do. My mission could be even bigger because when we do well, we can do good. Shanda and I both are big believers in philanthropy, as is Tony, who wants to do good, not just well. When you do well, you can do good. So if you're stuck and thinking, I don't know if I can do this, get out of your own way, stop thinking about yourself and think about your right fit client. Think about the problem that you solve, the mindset that they need, and the fact that when you have your own purpose-driven payday, which is what I think a live event is, purpose and payday married together through the power of a high-ticket offer. When you're doing really well in your life, you can take care of yourself, your family, your community, your tribe, the world, future generations. You literally can change future generations of your family forever by the choices that you make today. But the only way to do it is to choose progress over perfection and commitment over convenience. My good friend Lisa Nichols says, conviction and convenience never live on the same street. And no truer words have ever been spoken, right? The convenient thing is never the easy thing. The conviction thing is what gets you traction. So once impossible, now easy. You have the model, you have a list. Shanda gave you a list. You know how to fundraise through 50 ways. Now you know how to design a high ticket offer, and now you know how to get it out there. Shanda Sumter.
Hello. Hi, I'm so great to, it's been so great. I'm like literally taking notes over here. I loved the whole conversation where you actually called me out on somebody dressing me. I only say that, you guys, because your life gets to be anything that you want it to be, right? You guys thank you, Bari. I appreciate you jumping on. Hold on a couple minutes. I just want to talk to everybody. I'm going to pull you back up. So, you've got a choice, and that is you can focus on building a business and chasing after it, or you can focus on building a business and a life. You know what I mean? So ask yourself right now, what is the lifestyle that you want to live? I have a vision to grow a massive company and spin off other companies to sell. And I want to take a company public, which is what I'm working on right now. And so I share this with you because when I started, I just wanted to make $5,000 a month. I mean, that's the only vision I had, like just $5,000 a month. And Bari was right there with me going, okay, girl, let's go. Let's make that $5,000 a month. Let's launch your first event. I hired a coach. It took me 2 years to use that coach. I hired that coach to learn how to hire Bari. Literally, I'm not kidding you. Honest to God truth. I hired a coach. I worked with them for 2 years, and I was like, in my process, this is why when you guys make offers, know that people have to process, right? I was in my process for 2 years. Just put me on the screen, please. I was in my process for 2 years. 2 years trying to put myself in a position where I could take action and do an event. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have seen thousands of people have a than me. I always say money loves speed. Write that down right now. Money loves speed. Money loves speed. What the heck does that mean? It means you have to make decisions faster. So could you imagine if I would have started my events 3-4 months after I got myself up to the plate and said, I'm going to commit to building a business? I'll tell you what would have happened. I would have had bigger paydays. Quicker, and I would have been in a position where literally I wouldn't have been chasing after having to make money every single month. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Yes. How many of you guys are in that mode? It's like, you got to make money every single month. If you didn't watch yesterday's training, you need to go watch yesterday's training. I showed you what I would do if you took everything away. But I'm a big fan of saying, I want to focus on my business and my life. I want to focus on my business and my life. My son is important to me. My husband is important to me. My fitness is important to me. My ski trip this weekend is important to me with my friend Allison, Maslin, and Mike, right? Like my life, I know your life is important to you. And I always say there's two types of people. There's people who are seekers, and you ask yourself, where are you? They're seekers. Okay, when you hear yourself saying, I'm always seeking, I'm always growing is beautiful, but seekers literally study and study and study. They read the books, they listen to the podcast, they listen to the audiobooks now on maybe a 1.7 speed, right? They're literally doing all the work. They're even showing up to challenges like this. But guess what? They always feel like the rug gets pulled out from underneath them. They always feel like the rug is being pulled out from underneath them. They're focusing on their business and they're trying to grow their business, but they're forgetting about their life. And so they hit a wall and they get burnt out, and they're very inconsistent. Any of you guys recognize yourself in this? Like, it's like you maybe are a great starter, but you're not as good of a finisher. And it's not that there's something wrong with you. It's just you're still hanging out in seeking mode. You're still processing to see, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? But here, let me just unleash you to move over to the creators, because the creators are the people in your life that everything seems to work for them. It always seems to come together. You know, they do the same things. They show up to challenges like this. They read the books. They listen to the podcasts. They listen to the audiobooks. They get themselves hyped up. But what happens is they have the endurance to go all the way, but they're not special. They're thinking about the life that they want to live. They're thinking about the life. They're thinking about their life legacy. And they actually get that somewhere inside them, they have what it takes to create it. And so I'm going to tell you that if you hang out in Seekerville and you're constantly, you're going to burn through your life. So I'm going to invite you to get committed. I'm going to invite you to re-listen to this training with Bari. I'm going to invite you to share this live. I'm going to invite you to encourage a friend to watch this right now. I'm going to invite you to build your ecosystem around you so that literally you have more people like Bari and I have each other. And we started at the beginning. And let me tell you, there are many times where I wondered, is anybody going to show up for my event? Is anybody going to show up for my webinar? And you know what? You deliver to an empty room if you need to. You deliver to an empty room if you need to, because maybe your process is just getting up in front of a Zoom line and actually just making an offer, actually just, designing a product, just risking and trying. That's the difference between seeker and creator. Who wants to cross the bridge between seeker and creator? You want to show up, you want to deliver your high ticket offer, you want to stop dreaming and you want to start doing, as Bari talked about. You want to become that doer and you want to get the results, and that's going to require you to commit. It's also going to require you to let go of indecisiveness, let go of confusion, do it anyway. You're going to have to do that if you want to be a creator. Do you know that most entrepreneurs are making things up constantly as they're building the next bridge over whatever's breaking down in their life right now? See, the difference between a seeker and a creator is a seeker somehow's bought into this idea that when you make an offer, when you create a high ticket offer, when you figure out the clarity, that somehow the confusion is going to go away and you're going to make money. And that's not the truth, because every step you take, you're going into new territory that you haven't been before. Do you know that I have never made the same offer twice? You know why I don't make the same offer twice? Some of you guys have been following me for a while. I don't make the same offer twice because when I get up to the plate, and I tell you, make offers all the time. Make them all the time. Your offer could be, do this homework. Your offer could be, comment on this. Your offer could be share this live right now, right? Your offer could be, join your product or service and let you help them. What you got to get in the habit of making offers and feeling okay about that. But the reason why I don't ever make the same offer, and it has me in creator mode versus like, let me think about this and seek a little bit more, is because I get more powerful when I know I can say something to you, which is, you will never see this offer again. And when you start to operate with your own leadership, your own belief system, then what happens is you get yourself up to the plate and you get fired up. So Bari said you don't need to have a bunch of tech. You don't. In fact, you so much don't need a bunch of tech that I made a decision that I'm going to share something with you right now, and I'm going to do it completely techless because I want to demonstrate what she just shared with you. Because whether or not we ever work together long term or not, how many of you guys know that if you had an opportunity to coach with me, put coach in the chat, if you had an opportunity to coach with me, that I could probably get you across the line faster? Go in the chat and say coach if you believe that. Okay, so it's powerful. Go look in the chat. You can do this. Pay attention to what I just did, right? That's a call to action. And now, what do you think that does for me when I see that? I feel more comfortable with you. I feel more safe with you. I can go all in. I can risk bigger. So don't do your business alone. Get out there, do high ticket sales, go out there, generate income, but most of all, focus on creating the business and the life that you want. So here's the thing, like I said, I help people go from seeker to creator. And the way that I do that is I focus on two things at the base foundation of growing a business. That is, I want to get a list underneath you, and I want to get your leadership so you follow through on what it is that you set as your goal. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So ask yourself right now, how many times, let's be honest, how many times have you been a starter and not a finisher? Go in the chat, put an S if you've been a starter, not a finisher. Let's go. Everybody look at this who's a starter, not a finisher, and know that there's nothing wrong with you. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't had the accountability and the structure around you to take you to the finish line. That's where I come in. Okay, how many of you guys are great finishers? How many of you guys are phenomenal? You always hit your goal. How many of you guys are great finishers? Go in the chat. Okay, so just share with us. There's a couple of you. Okay, there's a lot of starters and not finishers. So let me share something with you. You got to be a great starter. You got to be great in the middle. You got to keep your endurance. You got to make offers all the time. And you got to finish strong. And when you learn how to do that consistently every single month, you're going to see that your revenue starts to grow. Watch people's chat, watch people's comments in the chats. We'll read people's post last night on their homework and see how many people generated income just by leaning on my leadership on this challenge. Imagine what would happen if we had more time together. Imagine what would happen if all of you became great finishers. Imagine what would happen if you could get out of your own way and create the results that you want. I had somebody call me last night, and she used to be a client of ours, and she went from no business to generating $300,000 plus in her business, literally in a very short period of time. That's not an income claim. I'm not saying you're going to do that. But what I'm telling you is her story. She literally called me last night and she said, Shanda, I think I'm setting goals too small. And I said, that's incredible leadership that you have the ability and the humility to share that. How many of you guys are in that boat right now? You feel like maybe you're setting too small of goals, like you're really not risking at the level you can. Well, that risk comes into playing bigger, right? People say to me, well, I'll give you some real statistics. The last quarter of last year, 78% of my clients got the results. 78% of my clients got the results. Okay, so I've been relentless in teaching leadership for the last 2.5 years in our community. Those were not always my statistics. 3 years ago, it looked very different. Now I got 22%, 23% of my audience not hitting their mark. That's flipping the results on its head. Most communities that coach entrepreneurship, it's like 15, 20% of the audience or the client base is actually getting their results. 78% of my clients get the results. How do I know that? I require more of you. When you work with me, I require your goals to be turned into me. I have a coach that is designated and a customer service person that is dedicated to your success. Can you imagine having that type of accountability in your marriage, in your relationships, in your eating habits, right? Could you imagine if there was that much love around you that really was like, come on, Reba, you're not going that fridge today. We're going to eat like this and we're going to feel amazing. coming up here. Imagine that type of, so I got this vision. You get to have a vision in your business. I got this vision. What if we could have the highest success rate out of any entrepreneurial program in the market? And I don't know anybody who's getting these type of results, only because another entrepreneur hasn't gotten this vision yet. I'm not saying that there isn't amazing other, gurus or business coaches or mentors. Of course, I've studied with many of them. There's many amazing people in my industry, but I'm tracking you because my success metrics goes on you. 78% of my clients got the results last quarter. Do you know what my team said? How do we move that up? Because the quarter before we had 80%. What happened? So I'm sharing this with you right now because not only are you safe in this revenue challenge, but some of you guys want to go deeper. And I want to take a moment and I want to share with you a one-time only opportunity inside of this challenge. And some of you guys, this is going to be a perfect fit for you because some of you guys are ready to go from seeker to creator. Yes? Put your hand up, say yes in the chat right now. Okay, so I'm gonna take a couple minutes and I'm gonna move over to you guys in VIP. So here's what it looks like. I intentionally did not do slides because now you're in a situation where you can show you can do this as well. Okay, this is just a simple old flip chart. Anybody can do this with me. You have two opportunities to work with me today. If you think that I can help take you across the finish line, then I'm gonna highly suggest that you contemplate which one's best for you. Which one's best for you? So if you're in a position where you're like, I really need to get my business off the ground, go put B in the chat if that's you right now. I really need to get my business off the ground. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, I market on every platform on the planet. Events or high ticket sales like Bari taught, it's a really great way to cash flow. I also know that everybody has a different vision. Right? Some of you guys have network marketing. Some of you guys are teachers and you want to take your skills and you want to start a business. Some of you guys have been in business for a while and you're still not cracking $300,000-$400,000 a year. Like everybody set a goal no matter what. 300 is the minimum. Okay, like that's what I want you to hold your standard of. $300,000 a year is the minimum that I want you to even allow yourself to say that's my baseline. So whether that takes you a year, 6 months, a month, 2 years, I don't care how long, you just need to keep your butt in the seat. Hear what I'm saying? So in the business program, we focus on list power first. Okay, so here's what I know for sure. List power, I have a home study program. I'm going to give it to you with the business opportunities. So there's opportunity 1, opportunity 2. This is our best seller. I'm going to get to that second. Okay, so allow yourself to think in this process. List power is how do you literally get other people to be able to promote you so you can grow a really engaged buyers list fast. I've taught this to 12-year-olds, many 12-year-olds. I used to have a program where when you joined our program, if you had a nephew, niece, daughter, son, whatever, you could bring them in totally free. Remember, generosity is a big key to you making offers and for your audience to trust you. Do you trust me? Yes or no? Okay, so list power is where we show people how to reach out to authors, experts, people in your industry, people in the industry you want to build in, right? Meditation, fitness, God, business, social media, real estate. I developed this whole model off of real estate. Okay, so how do you get other people to promote you? And how do you collect those names, emails, and phone numbers? How do you come up with a topic that people really want to engage in? How do you come up with a reason for these experts to actually come together with you and promote? There's some work to do in here. You hear what I'm saying? There's some work. We need to go, what is a reason for these experts? Can you go, what is a reason for these experts to be able to come together, promote you, to work with you, and to partner with you to create a movement in the industry that you want? So you guys know, if you weren't here yesterday, you should go watch yesterday's training, but you should really listen to what I'm talking about right now. If you don't have a list, you're growing your business, very, very, very risky, very risky. So we show you how to build a list in a home study program. Okay, so call that home study. Look at how easy you could do this. Everybody can do this. If you're sitting there saying that, oh my God, I can't do this, you can do this. Everybody can do this. It is an excuse not to have money. It is not a reality. So what I know for sure is most people don't go through the home study program. Am I right? Would you be scared if I just offered a home study program for a couple $1,000s? You should be scared because I know that you won't go through it and you know that you won't go through it. And the reason why you keep letting yourself down is because you keep buying into the fact that somehow your willpower is going to be consistent. Your willpower is not going to be consistent. You're going to be tired some days. You're not going to feel like doing it. Some of you guys are in a season where it's a little bit more stressful. And so that pulls on your energy. So because I know that most people don't do the home study program, there are some. But because I know this, what I do is I add in a 3-day intensive, okay? A 3-day intensive. What do I do in this? I teach you everything in that. I teach you how to find experts. I teach you how to reach out to them. I give you workspace so that you actually do them. I show you how to actually do a 2-minute video for a registration page. You actually do it in the workshop. It's all virtual. You get to stay in your home. Right? We have workspaces, we have coaches that come and we work through how do you create landing pages? How do you create topics that people want to interview around? How do you get, the key is to get influencers or authors to promote you. And if nobody knows who you are, you better have a formula on how to do that. So we show you how to actually get them to promote you. We show you how to do a legal agreement with them, so that you can keep that interview and use it for other things. I even show you how to create a product with it. I show you how to make money while you're building the list. Do you hear what I'm saying? So you don't even have to wait. Yes, what Bari just taught you, after you build the list, can you imagine if you could send an email or a text and just bring people to a Zoom line and talk about whatever topic that you want to talk about? Marriage, fitness, whatever. You don't even have to have a presentation. You could just answer questions and offer time up for you to just get on a phone call and talk to some of these people and go deeper. How easy is that? Yes, it's easy, right? It's super easy. You've been convinced that this thing of money only belongs to the elite, and it's not. The smartest people in the world are not at the top. They just stayed in the game and they managed their emotions. So I know that most people don't do the home study program because I don't. But I love to go back and restudy pieces that I need to go deeper in. And that's the power, and that's how you want to use the home study program. I will teach you at the end of this month in the 3-day intensive how to take all the steps that are in the modules and we'll do them for 3 days together. I would charge $5,000 for that workshop. That's what I would charge. If you ever look at what people are charging for 2-day workshops on actually how to implement, they're anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000, sometimes $7,000. So I will literally teach you every step in list power. So I'll be your accountability partner and you're gonna get it done. Okay, my coaches love to work with you. If you ever decide to go deeper with us after this program, they love to work with you. Why? Because it's really easy to monetize you. In fact, you can go work with any of my peers after doing this program and you will become known in their communities because you will have the ability to reach customers and clients fast. Okay, so where Bari comes in is Bari and I are putting the zone event right now in November on the calendar. We don't know if it's gonna be in Arizona or Miami, but that's not what matters because you're gonna make money, you're gonna be there. Okay, so you are going to get a ticket to come to Zone Event and you will be one of our clients, which means that on day 1 of Zone Event, we have a whole networking lunch. So you're going to quickly meet other people who have what? Lists, which means you got built-in partnership right inside of our community. And guess who leads that? Me. I lead the generosity of our clients working together. In fact, right now I have a mastermind coming up for our clients in April in San Diego. And one of the things we're doing is speed dating for joint venture partnership. How cool is that? Right? So even the people who haven't started building their lists yet are going to be promoted by the other people in our community because we get better together. Okay, so here's what this opportunity looks like. List Power Home Study Program, plus the 3-day intensive, plus you can come to the Zone Event. So this is $997 for this offer, okay? Don't tune out, I'm gonna show you how to make the money, okay? So now the second thing is business in life. This is the most popular offer. Can you do this? Can you do what I'm doing right now? Yes, you can. We just need to hold your hand a little bit and get you so that you can make decisions faster versus taking so long to process. We don't get speed on our own. We sit in isolation, things don't move forward. And you burn through hours. How many guys have burned through a few too many months in your life by trying to get it right? Yes? Go in the chat and say yes, because it helps other people not feel crazy, okay? So business and life, you are going to have the List Power program as well. You're gonna have everything that's in here. However, because I know you so well, and the reason why I have 78% of my community who got their results last quarter, the reason why I have that is because a lot of our clients have done HCL. What is HCL? HCL is an insane program. It's a leadership program called Hardcore Leadership. We charge $5,000 for this program. And in this program, we teach you in a 3-day intensive. We teach you a product intensive called Vision. So imagine this. Imagine you got an egg around you, and this is called your life. I really learned my egg when I did an infomercial. I realized that I live in a bubble, an egg, and the rest of the world looks nothing like my experience. You know that, y'all? Like, you're walking through life in a bubble, in an egg, and your life looks the way it is, and we need to crack that egg so we can have a different experience in life. So imagine you're in an egg and you're cracking the egg. And all of a sudden you start to see, holy cow, there is a whole nother world of abundance and freedom and happiness that I never knew was possible because I was so consumed with everything that's hit me in my life. So that's 3 days in Vision. Now, let me tell you, you're not going to go where you need to go in Breakthrough unless you do Vision. So we will coach you for 3 days, virtually or live. We have both workshops happening throughout the year. And so Vision is 3 days, and then you go into Breakthrough a couple of weeks later. Breakthrough is 4 days. Now, this is off the charts. In 4 days, imagine shattering those walls. Best way I can describe is before I owned this program, I took it. I did $170 million in real estate after I did this program. I not only was the world's best kept secret, but I can tell you I wouldn't be standing here today because I was a wallflower. I was afraid to speak. Didn't know my worth. Who else is like that right now? You know, when you don't know your worth, you're afraid to offer a high ticket offer. You know, when you don't know your worth, you get stuck in confusion. You know, when you can't figure out your why, it's because there's a value problem that you're having inside yourself. You are valuable. Vision will crack the new vision of seeing what's possible. When you see what's possible, you can get yourself in action. Half of your procrastination and perfectionism issues have nothing to do with you. They're the anchors that you've been carrying. They're the suppression, the labels, the things that other people put on you when you were younger and all the way up. But here's the thing. In Breakthrough, all of that will shatter. I felt like the ocean. Look at the ocean right now. The ocean gets a lot more blue. The sky gets more bright. Like colors like get more vibrant. What does that mean? It means I got more of me to show up. I got more of me to show up. And when I can show up, I can create results. When you can show up, you can create results. So Vision and Breakthrough just gets you in the playing field of your leadership to take action. When you can't take action, you have a leadership program. I'm going to tell you half of the strategies that you want to learn about doing a webinar, doing an event, whatever, you can freaking Google them. But why don't you take action? Because you need people like us to hold you accountable. You're borrowing our leadership. And if you can borrow our leadership long enough, or we get to know you, then what happens, is you start to skyrocket. Do you notice in most communities, only a small amount of people skyrocket? It's because they hook into the right clique. They get in the most popular groups, you know, they get welcomed in, and then they grow fast. But what happens to all the people who are average? You are not born for average. You are not born. The chances that you got born is so slim. You were not born for average. So here's the thing. Once we get through Vision and Breakthrough, now I'm like, guess what? Test me. After Vision Breakthrough, we are not a program or a personal development or leadership or whatever program that you go back to the way it used to be. Over 3 months after you do Breakthrough, we meet 3 times for check-ins. And over 3 months, you test me and you put up a goal. I've seen people heal marriages, literally getting a divorce, and maybe Jamise, you do it. You're not getting a divorce, but you do it, right? You do it, and your partner, your husband, your wife doesn't do it. You're like, they're the freaking problem. The divorce doesn't happen. I've seen people walk in divorced, enroll their divorcee partner, old partner, and they get remarried. It's unbelievable how we don't know how to land our communication or regulate our emotions or get ourselves to take action. Once you do vision and breakthrough and you go into practice, the third level, you set the trajectory of what we're going to create. And my company coaches you to create it. Okay, so here's the statistics on that. 95% of the people who go through that program hit the results. 95%. Now, this is crazy, and it's all documented. Everything's documented from the minute you set your goal to the minute you graduate. But here's the thing, because we work with entrepreneurs, we know you and you're driven. And so you can either finish the program, which means you did it and your life will change. And it could be like your life changed, or you can graduate. And to graduate, you must hit the goal that you said you were going to hit. So the reason why people come to me and they say, Shanda, how do you have such conviction? Shanda, how do you this? How do you that? I'm telling you, I built myself. And that was the program that helped me get unleashed. And that's where I built this company out of that program. I had a job and I thought I loved the job, but there was something missing inside my heart. And when I did this program, I realized I am more. I can create this. I have a calling, and this isn't it. And I had the courage to fall through to create it. It was this program that actually created that. So now, since we now brought the program in-house, and we brought the program in-house because as your company grows, you're going to see these things. And that is that my entrepreneurs, as the company got bigger, I wasn't able to help them. Unless you were close in my inner circle that I knew you, or you were in the in crowd and I knew you, unless you were in that group, I couldn't actually get you your results. And what happened is we started to get the statistics that other masterminds started to get. And you know what I was told? And I won't tell you by who, but somebody that actually is a huge leadership platform and business said to me, Shanda, you know what? There's a group of people who come to you because they just need a community to be a part of. There's a group of people who are going to do everything that you tell them to do, and they're going to be your success story. It's going to be a small percentage. And there's a whole bunch of people in the middle who are just going to watch you and never take action. And you know where that screws me up is I can't make you an offer knowing that. How can I tell you to risk it all? How can I tell you to believe in yourself? How can I tell you to dust your shoulders up, take the rug back and put it underneath you and walk your walk if I know that a bunch of you are not going to make it? I can't do it. And so I couldn't do any of the tactics that business people would tell me to do. I couldn't do any of it because I knew that I didn't know if you, Jamise, or Cindy, or Trudy, or any of you, I didn't know if you were going to be a part of the group who would make it. So what are we offering that for? So if you go to the Hardcore Leadership page, you will see vision, breakthrough, and practice. Don't recommend you go to that page, but you're welcome to go to hardcoreleadership.com. You'll see it's a $5,000 program, and that's what we're selling it for. And we have hundreds of people who join. In fact, my mother, by the way, is going through today. We have a class starting right now. I cannot tell you, I could probably start crying in front of you right now. My mother is in that training right now. She started today. Now, you want to talk about everybody I love. Everybody in my company is asked to do this training. And so if it didn't work and got you unleashed, why the heck would I pay my employees? It's 3 months out of your time going through HCL. I pay my employees to go through it because they get unleashed and they create insane results when they do that. Plus they're happy. So in the Business and Life, which is our best-selling offer, you get List Power, home study program, you get the 3-day intensive, you get zone tickets, but you get HCL. You get Hardcore Leadership, a $5,000 program. That program with all of this, we are offering for $2,200, the entire thing. We have a payment plan of three payments for $1,000 each if you need me to finance it, or you can do a pay in full at $2,200. So where do they go? So we go to joinlistpower.com. You can see in the chats. Joinlistpower.com. You can see in the chats. Joinlistpower.com. You can see in the chats. Now, here's what I want to tell you. I recommend you do exactly the same thing. Because your clients and customers need to process, I always give a 20-minute bonus. And the 20-minute bonus today is the equivalent of $13,000. And what is it? So first and foremost, a couple months ago, we did a training where we brought my financial advisors in, and they charge $4,000 a month on retainer to work with them. And so we brought them in and we created a program called Fund Your Freedom. We're never doing it again. We only did it because our audience kept demanding for this product. And so we created it. They actually made an offer at that workshop. Remember what I'm saying? We do what we teach. Always make an offer, because there's always people who want to go deeper. Who wants to go deeper with me right now? Put me in the chat, right? So it's like there's always people who want to go deeper and they're ready. You want to make an irresistible opportunity. For me, I never make the same offer twice. So they offered an offer that people invested $2,000 in. Real story, just a couple months ago. If you were in that workshop, you know, $2,000, where here's what they offered. You can have a Facebook group, which every 2 weeks, there's instructors in there advising your wealth. They give an entire home study program, but do you do it all? No, you're gonna cherry pick the parts that are important to you. We talked about cryptocurrency. We talked about, how do you pull money out and put it in different plans that multiply your money. Remember what I told you? You can't earn enough money to retire rich. You need to multiply it. And I'm committed to teaching that in our community. So they do every 2 weeks, they have instructors that come into the Facebook group and train you around your finances. But once a month, they do a Q&A. They do a Q&A where they bring everybody onto a Zoom and they answer questions about, should I invest in real estate or not? Should I invest in digital currency or not? Should I do a life insurance plan or not? Okay, like what should I do and how do I multiply my money? What's the smartest? Who needs to know that? What's the smartest thing for me to invest in right now? If I took some money off the play and put it into something, what would you do to get me financially free? Well, $4,000 a month is expensive. So we offered this for $2,000 period. I'm going to throw it in as a 20-minute bonus. Who's excited about that? So if you make a decision in the next 20 minutes, either you can let me coach you in business, which is I'm going to put the list underneath you. I'm going to study you. I'm going to train every single step of the home study program. You're going to do every single step with me, and I'm going to give you zone tickets for $1,000, or business and life, and I'll give you all of this and throw in leadership so you can stop second guessing yourself and you can start trusting yourself and go all in for $2,200. You can see below, you can see join listpower.com. So we're going to throw in a 20-minute bonus, which is the Entrepreneur Playbook. And the Entrepreneur Playbook is how do you multiply your wealth. In addition, April 4th and 5th in San Diego, if you can't come live, it's okay. I'll put it into a digital format for you and give it to you after the event. But if you can come live, this is only available for the next 20 minutes. You can come and learn what I'm teaching my clients in San Diego, April 4th and 5th. And here's the little hint. Everything I do has a playbook to it. There's a process. How I make an offer, how I design my offers, how I got myself out of my own way to create the results that I want to create. All of it has a process. It's called a playbook, right? How do I even do my focus time in the morning? There's a playbook to how I do that. How do I stay consistent, or everything's not 100% consistent, but how do I stay consistent enough to become a multimillionaire? Who are my millionaires out there? Not everybody wants to be a millionaire. Put an M in the chat if that's you. Okay, so some of you guys know you're supposed to be a millionaire. I knew that, but I needed to create some habits and skills to be able to create that result. See what I'm saying? So, okay. Can you guys grab Zach? See, now everybody can do this at home. I cannot believe little Zach is here. Can you take the place? Thanks. Zach, please. Thanks. Sorry, guys. So don't start that 20 minutes. Restart that 20 minutes for them. Okay. So where was I? So you know what? That is such a great example, you guys. That's never happened. Okay, that's never happened. It's such a great example on you can do this imperfect. You can do this messy. You can do this no matter what. You don't have to be. I used to get so angry when things didn't work out perfectly. Who else is like that? You like that? Yeah. And so you like permission to just be yourself, permission to be a mom, permission to be a dad, permission to be a friend, permission to be scared. Just go out there and do it. Okay. So if you want, this is a necessity. Everybody must have this. Okay. Otherwise, you're just kidding yourself. Like, just get out of business, because if you don't have your list underneath you, it's like, my God, it's just going to take forever. Okay. So definitely do this if this is all you can do. If you need the leadership, this is a security blanket for you. This will put you in the game. This will put you where you can just bank on yourself moving forward. Like, I'm not afraid because I trust myself. That's what that did. Okay, I believed in it so much I couldn't get the community to where they need to be without that. So I brought the program in-house. Okay, explosion of results inside of our community. So I'd love to say I'm the best coach in the world. No, you become better leaders underneath our leadership. $2,200 to be able to do both, or I'll finance it 3 payments of $997 in the next 18 minutes, 41 seconds. So if you're still watching and you haven't gone to the link, go to joinlistpower.com. If you're still watching, haven't gone to the link, then that 20 minutes is over. Out of full integrity, you never want to come back and reoffer it. You can come to the mastermind April 4th and 5th. If you can't come, then I will give you drop boxes of everything that I taught and all the playbooks. Okay, so it's everything that I do to run this company. How do I get copy to convert without having to be a copywriter? How do I fill my events? How do I, build a team? How do I work with a virtual assistant? How do I not need to know any tech and create the results I need to create in a timely manner? How many of you guys would love all of that information? That's April 4th and 5th. It's a download of everything I've done and all the books, all the QR codes, like every step in the most important money-making activities are in those playbooks. And we're going to teach them all live. And then we're going to joint venture you at that April 4th and 5th mastermind. 20-minute bonus only, right? It's not on the sales page. It's not there. It's something that's only available for the next 20 minutes. So we'll timestamp you by going to joinlistpower.com. We're going to timestamp you. I'm going to give you my financial planner's $8,000 program that we discounted for our clients to $2,000 a couple months ago. We're going to give that to you as a 20-minute bonus. And they'll walk you hand in hand to be able to teach you how to multiply your money. So who thinks that this is a great opportunity for you? Who thinks that this is like, okay, I'm ready to be a creator in my life. I'm ready to take action, follow through, and create the results. I'm going to tell you, without the list and without the leadership, you put yourself in a risky game. But if you cannot, if this is like, let me teach you something. If this is like, I can't do $2,200, Shanda. If you're like, I can't do this, I would say, think like this. When you go through vision, breakthrough, and practice, and you're in practice, you guys set that goal as a money goal. Like, whatever you want to make in a year, set that as a money goal inside of practice. And you will never see so many people on your team trying to get you to the finish line. 95% of the people who go currently, this is my current, we have a class start up all my statistics, but currently 95% of those clients hit their goal. So all that to be said, I'm going to switch over to VIP now. You have got 16 minutes to go ahead and take that 20-minute bonus. And I can promise you that will not be here tomorrow. It will not be here in an hour from now. Now it's time for you to trust yourself, trust your gut, and take action now. All right, you guys, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we are going to bring one of my mentors up tomorrow morning, and he is going to coach you. And he, by the way, is to coach my leadership. He coached my leadership to get me to show up in a way that has been able to produce what I've been able to produce. So tomorrow is going to be awesome. I'll send you a pocket coaching later on tonight and give you all the details about exactly what he's covering, so you know why you need to show up tomorrow. All right, you guys, bye. I'll see you soon.